That's Mayer in motion. Garoppolo dumps it off to Davante Adams.
You can see the quarterback sneak again and the push from behind by the running back.
On fourth down, Jacobs in the backfield. Garoppolo looking to throw. He rolls the pocket. He's in a little bit of trouble, but Adams gets him out of it. Amir Abdullah is in the backfield. Play clock is at 5. Garoppolo looking right. He can run. He breaks one tackle and then dives forward toward the first down marker. Frank Clark came from behind him.
There's a hit on Simmons coming in late with his helmet.
For a moment.
Foul. Defense on 31. Passes it to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's a good call, James. Justin Simmons. Play clock is plenty of time left. He'll take the snap, looking left, throwing left, passes complete left. Jacoby Myers in his first year with the Raiders.
And he's taunting after the play is over. You've got to have a calm head when you make a big play.
You saw the single coverage, man coverage, just James going outside.
Oh,
good
yeah.
ball. Allow your receiver to just make the play back shoulder fake.
Well, a great job installing at the line of scrimmage, being patient.
On second down, off the play fake, looking to throw again. Pumps once, throws on the run, passes complete on the run to the 41.
I think he's throwing it to Johnson.
On first down, first run of the day, Williams. He has some daylight out toward midfield. It's a gain of 8 yards. Hobbs with the tackle.
Garrett Bowles is set.
Wilson near sideline, passes complete to Johnson again.
You know, and these are things he loves. Situational football. It's third and long. Try and get at least half of it to give yourself a field goal.
Well, they got more than half of it. Dulcich on third down. Wilson has a little extra moment in the pocket. Got his tight ends. Trout ball. He's in the backfield. Off the play fake to him. Wilson looking toward the end zone. Trying to get away from Crosby. Back to the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos. It's L.J. Humphrey.
Getting the ball in the end zone, settled for field goals the first couple of weeks, and it became an issue as the season wore along. This time, Russell Wilson, who we talked about.
7 different receivers caught one pass on that drive.
I didn't catch any.
But you would have if he would have thrown it to you. The extra point is no good. On first down for the 39-yard line. Off the play fake to Zamir White. Garoppolo throws to the near sideline. Passes complete to Jacoby Myers. He wound up with the Raiders. Play clock down to 3. Garoppolo takes the snap quickly. Tosses it to, well, again, it's Jacoby Myers. Off the play fake. Garoppolo looking to throw again. Dumps it off to Josh Jacobs. Breaks a tackle with those strong legs. And along the sidelines. Abdullah moving in the backfield. Play clock down to 3. Play clock at 1. Garoppolo takes the snap, has time, dancing in the pocket, throws toward the end zone, incomplete. Daniel Carlson, good snap, good hold, kick is on its way, and it is good. And the Raiders extend their lead. It's 10-6. I have the answer to. 3rd and 34. And they give it off to Pirine to try to get some yards back, and he does. He gets to the 40. Singleton right in the middle for the Broncos. On third down, Garoppolo. Quick toss, has Myers. And Myers shy of the first down, though.
Tyree Wilson, number 9, the rookie's in, over the left tackle.
Here's Wilson. And he throws it to the near sideline. Pass is complete to Sutton. He just gets it off. Underneath, pass is complete to Dulcich. Yeah, both kickers were booming it during pregame workouts. They go underneath. And pass is complete to Pirine again. He's so
attack and make the tackle.
They're down at 6. No timeouts left for Wilson. And Wilson going toward the end zone for Sutton, and he overthrows him. But there's a flag that comes down at the 13.
When is that receiver?
Defense number 0. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
Wilson looking to throw on first down. Has Sutton through the middle. And he's
look at all the space outside on the left for Sutton.
On second and goal, Wilson looking to the back of the end zone, dancing around, pointing, throwing, back of the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton.
Take advantage of the rules. And Jay, by that I mean once that quarterback goes out of the pocket, you can recontact the receivers, push him out of bounds there. So now he'd be the first to touch when he comes back in. But a nice job by Cortland Sutton, kind of breaking down and getting past, and Epps not knowing where the ball.
In motion is Johnson for the Broncos. Wilson hands it off. And they're going to move the pile forward, and that pile may have gone for a first down. Need to get to the 47-yard line for first down. The play clock is down to 2, now 1.
Sutton.
He'll take the snap. Pressure's coming. Try to avoid it. Pumps once. Lowers his shoulder. Fumble the football. It's picked up by the Raiders. Epps knocked it loose. Diablo picked it up. 36-yard line.
Illegal contact. Defense number 24.
Wow.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
See, to me, that's a tough one to call against the Raiders because was he out of the pocket? When did you see the illegal contact? How early did it happen?
They hand the ball off. Pirine inside Raiders territory, inside the 45. Playbook in college. It's third down, 3rd and 7.
Not in field goal range here.
And Wilson, quick toss. It's complete, shy of the first down. DeAndre Carter, bottom of your screen. They give it to Jacobs. They want to get the run game established too, as we alluded to after the first half. He's down to the 44. Josie.
He looked really impressive at that time.
You got Devontae Adams at the bottom.
Uh-oh, somebody moved right side.
Full
Illuminor.
start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Colton Miller at the top left tackle.
Third down and 12. Garoppolo, middle of the field, has Adams. He has the catch right at the first down marker.
So you can look to that matchup with Devontae.
Yeah, trips to the bottom of the screen. Pressure's coming. Garoppolo steps up, throws on the run, has Adams on the sidelines, out of bounds at the 21-yard line. That's a great call, guys.
I think that's where he gets those gifts from, those first step gifts.
They give it to Jacobs, and Jacobs trying to get to the edge. There may be a holding penalty coming in.
And you bounce it all the way to the outside, you're going to get holding.
10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Now you can change, and you can drop those guys out late.
And Garoppolo going toward the sidelines for Adams. Can't turn back. Flag comes in. Surtain can't believe it.
Both of them big, strong, physical guys. That time the match was won by Devontae Adams.
Just really good coverage here. You're going to see Surtain right there.
Yep.
And he puts the left arm back. And I just love the back shoulder throw because it's so hard with a big body guy like that, James, that you talked about, for a DB to do anything but go right through.
Mumford, extra lineman on the right side. Off the play fake. Garoppolo looking to the back of the end zone. Throws to his left, and he overthrows Myers. And a flag comes in late.
Both Myers.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. The foul in the end zone. First and goal. 1-yard line.
Oh, he's holding the whole time. First and goal from the 1-yard line. Oh, it's fumbled by Garoppolo. He dives forward.
I think he got
he got back on top. There you go, the mishandle.
This is just on Jimmy, just pulling out a little too soon. Not sitting in there getting that snap.
Jacobs in the backfield off the play fake. Flag comes in, throws low to Carter, incomplete.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Renfro's in the slot.
Not heard from him all day.
Adams, bottom of your screen. Garoppolo dancing in the pocket to Adams, incomplete. Surtain is there to break it up.
Not on Devontae Adams because they hide him in the slot.
But they're going to bracket Adams anyways.
Abdul out of the backfield. Garoppolo scrambling to his left, pointing to traffic, goes to the end zone. It's tipped, and it's intercepted.
Check into the hotel room. Do you want free breakfast or do you want the points?
I usually go points. Pirine, stiff arms, has the first down and more. He goes inside and is dragged down at the 40-yard line. Wilson sees the play clock's down to 2. Out of the gun. He has time. Now his time collapses away. He's being chased down. He's dragged out for a sack.
Fighting and working, coming across and getting a hustle sack.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels, we asked him who's going to start at the end position for Chandler Jones. And he talked about Tillery. We're going to have a roughing off of this.
It's going to be a terrible mistake.
Yeah, the fair catch is called by DeAndre Carter.
Personal foul.
Roughing.
There you go.
Roughing the kicker. Defense number 59. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
For the Broncos, that's Manhertz in motion. Manhertz picks up Hobbs. They dump it off. And pass is complete to Mims. That's Dorsett in motion. Wilson breaks the pocket. Just dumps it off underneath to Williams, who caught it in stride. And he's down close to the 20.
Why'd you have to put an asterisk next to
Because they never stay healthy.
A third down and 2. Wilson has got to get across the 22 for first down. He dumps it off. And Burton's got it.
flag.
Play clock is under 10. They hand it off again, this time to Pirine. He breaks one tackle from Spillane and goes inside the 10, down to the 7. Yeah, this is the 13th play of the drive. They fake it to Pirine. Oh, what a play. Diablo swatted it with two hands. Excellent catcher.
They've got the ball in the same position that the Raiders had on the previous drive.
3rd and goal from the 6. Wilson just throws it up. He's going to throw it away to make it a 6-point game, and that one is good.
Devontae Adams matched up against Surtain if you think that's what you can do.
Off the play fake, Garoppolo looking in that direction for Adams. There you go, James. Garoppolo has led 11 fourth-quarter comebacks in his career. Can he make it 12? Plenty of time on the clock. Garoppolo dancing in the pocket, throws. His pass is complete to Myers. Coming over the middle. A flag is in. They may get a late hit to tack on.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 21. Automatic first down.
This is Bassey.
Good job by Jimmy standing in there, knowing he's going to get hit, delivering a ball. And that's certainly a late hit by Bassey. Because obviously we all want him in the game.
Jacobs in motion, top of your screen. Garoppolo on first down, lofts it toward the 10, and it's caught. Hooper, the tight ends. Justin Simmons, little late.
That's exactly.
Garoppolo looking to throw again. Slant, complete. Jacoby Myers, touchdown Raiders, 6 yards.
Catches the ball, the little lunge into the end zone to make sure that he squeezes it and gets in.
3 straight incompletions. Denver 50% on 3rd down. And they dump it off to Troutman. Troutman trying to get to that marker. Cannot. By the way, the rain has started to pick up here. We expected it to rain at some point in the second half. It started now. Here's Jacobs, and Jacobs assessing. Moving the pile across the 40 to the 41. Cooper with the tackle. High snap. Garoppolo handles it. Dances. Dumps it off. He's got Myers. And Myers is nailed right at midfield, and the flag comes in. Jacoby Myers is up and is being helped off the field. Kareem Jackson, who applied the hit, was trying to come over and make sure he was okay. He has been penalized for this. It's going to be an additional 15 yards.
Well, it was absolutely helmet to helmet. He came in and just hit him with the crown of his helmet.
Hooper going to the other side. We're thinking players, not so much plays.
Here comes the pressure from the Broncos. Garoppolo has plenty of time, and now he's going to run it. He's going to try to run for the first down. He's got it!
And slid down in bounds. They get the W on the other end.
Under a minute to play.
26, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, had the 1 interception. But he made the play when he had to with his legs, scrambling to getting that first down and icing the game.
Well, that'll do it. Las Vegas 17, the Broncos 16.